Tonight, the public weighed in on a proposed downtown sports stadium, where the community stands on the proposal, plus if it's one step closer to being approved.
More people across Washington and Idaho will be eligible for the coronavirus vaccine in the coming weeks. We'll break down everything you need to know.
Looking like a nice St. Patrick's Day weather-wise, with 60s on tap later on in the week, but I'm tracking a few rain showers before we get to the spring weekend.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Regina On. Well, new tonight, we do have confirmation of foreign interference in the November presidential election.
Newly declassified information reveals that Russian President Vladimir Putin authorized influence operations to hurt then presidential candidate Joe Biden. The documents show the Russian effort was to boost President Trump's re-election effort. In addition to Russia, officials say Iran also tried to interfere with the 2020 elections. U.S. officials say that none of the interference changed votes or disrupted the voting process.
Anti-government activist Ammon Bundy is asking to be released from jail after being booked yesterday for skipping court. Bundy told the judge today that conditions in the jail were, quote, miserable. He went on to say that being kept in custody would hinder his chance at defending himself in court. Bundy was initially arrested yesterday after he refused to wear a mask to go inside the courthouse. He instead sat outside with a group of supporters and missed his court appearance. The judge in the case set his bail at $10,000. His new trial date is set for May 10th.
Well, how terrifying are these pictures right there? Look at that. A pickup truck hanging over the ledge 100 feet from the bottom of a gorge. It happened yesterday afternoon west of Twin Falls. Thankfully, the trailer attached to that truck prevented it from falling after it crashed through a guardrail. My goodness. State troopers jumped into action, securing more chains to the truck to make sure it didn't fall. And that gave them time for specially trained rope rescue paramedics to arrive. They were able to lift the couple in the truck to safety along with their dogs. The couple was taken to a nearby hospital with only minor injuries.
Thank God for rope rescue paramedics.
Yeah, nice work. More people now eligible to get the coronavirus vaccine in Idaho. The move comes after Governor Brad Little approved recommendations from the state's COVID-19 Vaccine Advisory Committee.
So new groups of people will be eligible every few weeks going forward if all goes to plan. And we have finally gotten a timeline of when the general public will be vaccinated. Yesterday, Idahoans 55 to 64 with at least one underlying condition started to be eligible and were given priority for 1 week. Next week, those 55 to 64 that are part of the general public will be eligible.
Then on March 29th, those 45 to 54 with an underlying health conditions will become eligible, followed by the general population in that same age category the next week. That means that on April 12th, the eligibility opens up to those aged 16 to 44 with at least one pre-existing condition. And then on April 26th, all Idahoans 16 and up become eligible.
Tomorrow, more people in Washington will be eligible to get the coronavirus vaccine. People eligible include critical workers in grocery stores, agriculture, schools and child care, corrections, transit, and law enforcement. Pregnant women who are 16 and older will also be eligible, along with people living with a disability that puts them at a higher risk.
Dozens of first-dose COVID-19 vaccine appointments are available for the Spokane Arena Mass Vaccination Clinic. Appointments available are for tomorrow through Saturday. This comes after Safeway announced it would partner with the Washington State Department of Health to run the clinic. Safeway began working at the site as a provider a week ago. They will also be assisting with appointment registration moving forward. Well, here at home, another chapter in the saga over where to build a new sports stadium. Tonight, the public weighed in on two proposals, either rebuild at Joe Albi or build a new stadium in downtown Spokane. In an advisory vote in 2018, voters chose to rebuild at Joe Albi, but at tonight's forum, the Spokane Public School Board heard a lot of support for the downtown option. Here's KREM 2's political reporter, Casey Decker.
All but two speakers tonight were in full support of the downtown proposal. Many argued the advisory vote needs to be forgotten, arguing it was confusingly worded and pointing out it only polled voters inside the city limits, meaning thousands of school district residents were left out.
People simply did not have an understanding of what they were voting for.
I totally understand that there was an advisory vote in 2018, but what was just shared is that was a different time.
The advisory vote was one where I too was not able, my family was not able to participate in that.
For supporters of this idea, much of the allure comes from being able to host football games and other events in a central location rather than the Albi site, which is so far to the northwest of the city.
Number one reason I really support the downtown stadium is location, location, location.
We have lots of kids who would like to go to games, and it's really hard for them to get to Albee, so they don't go very much.
Now, if you build the stadium at the Joe Albee site, just like so many have already said, many of the kids, especially the lower income ones, may not be able to go there. Public transportation, like I said, doesn't go out there nearly as often. You're certainly not going to walk or ride your bike out there. But here's the important point. Not every mom or dad can take the time to get off work to get their kids to sports.
The proposal also involves the school district handing over responsibility for actually running the facility to the Public Facilities District, a move that proponents say would save hundreds of thousands of dollars per year.
As a taxpayer, I'm a fiscally conservative taxpayer. I want my tax dollars stretched as far as possible. And the cost savings, there's no difference between being at Albee and being at a downtown stadium. I want my school board focusing on education, not running a stadium. And I think with the downtown solution, you get to focus on your core competency.
But two of the speakers tonight weren't fully on board. One was concerned the stadium would create noise that would interfere with the nearby Spokane Civic Theater.
Why do the arts always get the shaft? There are lots of good things about this proposal, but everybody is ignoring the Spokane Civic Theater. It's not even on your drawing.
Another simply felt there are already too many things in that area near the Spokane Arena.
The stadium should be out there instead of crowding in Spokane.
The board has yet to state their opinions. They're hosting another one of these forums at 6:30 tomorrow. Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
And if you can't attend tomorrow's Zoom meeting, you can take SPS's online survey. Just text the word stadium to that number right there, 509-448-2000, and we'll send a link directly to your phone.
Not the last time we're going to hear about this one.
Absolutely.
All right, the spring-like weather we've been seeing all week has been incredible, and it seems like we have more warm and clear weather heading our way.
Hooray. Well, Thomas Patrick joining us now from the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. So, Thomas, how is it looking out there right now? Pretty chilly?
Yeah, a little bit chilly, but honestly not too bad. The winds are much calmer overall, which makes a big difference. But we always get this stark contrast in March. We get the sunshine, the warmer temperatures during the day. I was loving standing out here during the 4, 5, and 6 o'clock broadcast. It does get cool at night and, of course, first thing in the morning. So our lows will easily, once again, be in the 30s. But it was 53 for the high temperature today in Spokane. We've seen a lot of 50s recently, and we will see a lot more in the days ahead. As I mentioned right now, it's 37. But the winds calmer than they were yesterday. I think that's the big difference overall. Quiet weather pattern across the Pacific Northwest as of right now. Here's our next weather system. It's stirring up that cloud cover over the Pacific Ocean. This weather pattern is not unlike the last couple times that we've seen this, where that southerly flow helps to warm us up at first, and then we see the cloud cover and the chances for rain in the days or even hours to follow that. As for tomorrow, which is St. Patrick's Day, plenty of green on the map, representing the 50s in the forecast. Should be 50s just about everywhere. But let's tack on another 60-degree day for this Thursday before we start to see those next rain chances. I'll detail the timeline of those rain chances and what to expect for the first few days of spring this weekend, all in just a few minutes.
That temperature map looks pretty good, Thomas. Thank you very much. Eastern Washington men's basketball continues their preparation for their big game against 3-seed Kansas on Saturday. Two Spokane natives are surely ready for the national stage. Tanner and Jacob Groves both went to Shadle Park High School before going to Eastern. Tanner said both are proud to represent their hometown in front of so many people that will be watching.
Honestly, pretty incredible that him and I are playing together on the biggest stage and coming up on Saturday where millions of people are going to watch us, and it's just kind of crazy just being two guys coming out of Spokane and now playing on the biggest stage in college basketball.
So the Eags will take on the Jayhawks on Saturday at 10:15 a.m. The game will air on TBS.
Well, if you've been looking to get in shape for the upcoming Hooptown USA tournament, you are in luck. Hooptown USA is hosting basketball fitness clinics to help you prepare.
Go Zags! Go Zags! Go Zags! Yes, I love it.
Plus, later tip-off to March Madness just a couple days away now, how you can get prepared to cheer on the Zags from Spokane.